This is an update on that one French theater. Like you guys remember that theater that invited hundreds of migrants into their theater to virtue signal about how much they support them and put on a show for them, and then the migrants just refused to leave? We got an update on that story. Left-wing theater managers who invited 200 migrants to a free show will abandon the building and face bankruptcy as refugees still refuse to leave after 3 months and spark wave of sex-related violence. I believe that's what they over there in Europe they refer to as cultural enrichment. Why are you running away from cultural enrichment? You should be presenting your own bunghole to the migrants. Why are you running away, pussy? Left-wing managers of a Paris theater occupied by hundreds of homeless African migrants are set to abandon the building because of sex-related violence. They say the crisis at Gaîté Lyrique, one of the French capital's most historique arts venues, is now so explosive that retreat by this Friday is their only option. No. You need to present your own bungholes to them so they will stop struggle snuggling randos. That's what you got. Take responsibility for their sexual emergencies. That's you have to give it to them. They sure put on the best show with this. Yeah, this is probably the best show they've ever put on. This is great. Some 200, mainly young men, moved in last December when management gave them free tickets to Refugees Welcome in France conference. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Actions meet consequences. But when the conference was finished, the migrants who mostly come from Africa's France's former West African colonies refused to leave the venue. Performances were soon canceled, losing the theater thousands in revenue as makeshift beds were placed around the stage and the auditorium. Now there are 446 people living inside illegally, most of them claiming they are minors under the age of 18 who deserve permanent housing. Yeah, while they got graying beards. Yeah, that's right. You got 18-year-old gray beards. So, but the local officials have insisted they are adults, and most are known to the authorities and have been sleeping in the streets before entering the theater. And here's the important part. Why haven't they done anything despite knowing this? Are they maybe letting this happen on purpose because they're like, yeah, these theater owners got to learn their lesson? The Collectif des Jeunes du Parc de Belleville, a group which organized the occupation, slammed the age tests as racist and expeditive. Dude, they're literally just supporting the destruction of their own country. That's funny. Don't let them run away to your countries, though, once they're done burning theirs down. Because if you let them into yours, they'll burn yours down, too. So this has led to untenable promiscuity, leading to an increase in violence in management who are facing bankruptcy. A statement released by them on Thursday reads, without intervention by the authorities by Friday, the Gaîté Lyrique company and its teams will be forced to leave the building. Oh, no. You mean you're going to have to suffer the consequences of your own actions and the cops don't care? Oh, no. They're not going to save you from yourselves anymore? Oh, no. So it says they will suspend the execution of contracts of service providers in charge of fire safety, security, hygiene, and cleanliness, maintenance, and waste collection. Management warned of an explosive, undignified situation that's increasing in severity. Beyond fights breaking out because of sexual tensions, migrants have been seen dealing and using drugs. That's okay, man. I'm sure that's normal for this region. All right, staff have been acting as on-site security guards, even though the job is neither their skill set nor their job. Said the statement. Despite this, the statement says staff have also been welcoming and sheltering the occupants. Yeah, look, even despite all this, they're still all on board with it. Dude, just don't interfere. I hope the authorities don't do anything. Let them suffer the consequences of their own actions. If you bail them out, they're not going to learn their lesson. In December, Paris's socialist-led council, which owns the building, claims it looked for accommodations for the migrants, but none was available. It called for a government to deal with the problem, but Macron's centrist cabinet is said to have ignored the request and is reluctant to get involved in the debacle. So I'm not the biggest fan of Macron, but this was a smart move on his part. Yeah, just literally ignore them. Like, oh yeah, you're suffering from a problem you created yourself. Well, fix it yourself. Not my problem. The theater is owned by the city of Paris, which is dominated by socialists and Greens. They're all getting what they deserve right now. This is just funny. So, a judge at the Paris Administrative Court ordered the evacuation of the building on February 13th, but the councilors refused to involve the police. Hey, if I was the police, I wouldn't go, even if they called on me to. Like, fuck no, man, this is your guys' problem. We'll turn a blind eye. You handle it however you want. So the migrants are being supported by political activists and even more left wing than the theater's management. Hey, maybe those activists are going to get their comeuppance too. Calling themselves, I'm not going to read that again, after a Parisian park, they view the occupation as being part of an anti-racist, anti-colonial struggle. Local businesses have complained of losses due to the occupation. The bistro near the 19th century venue, a popular spot for theater goers to eat and drink before and after shows, has reported 30,000 euros in lost revenue so far. Well, yeah, because there's no shows and the people occupying it don't have money. So they're ruining my business, says the manager, Elia, herself a daughter of Algerian migrants. They hang around outside my terrace, smoking joints, fighting amongst themselves. Not only do we no longer get theater goers because the theater is shut, but we don't get passersby either. They're all frightened away by these young men. The 1,800 seat building that houses the current Gate Lyrique was built in 1862, became celebrated for staging operettas by Jacques Offenbach, the German-born French composer in the 19th century. On November 1st, France reinforced its borders with 6 neighboring Schengen members, Belgium, Deutschland, Italy, Luxembourg, Spain, and Switzerland, with increased checks. Doesn't seem to have helped any, though. Look, you've already let probably millions in. Like, how is this going to now solve anything? The controls are applied to travelers entering France via land, sea, and air routes from all 6 nations and will last until April 1st current year. But authorities have said they could be extended further. French government statement declared the checks were introduced due to serious threats to public policy, public order, and internal security posed by high-level terrorist activities, criminal networks facilitating irregular migration and smuggling, migration flows that risk infiltration by radicalized individuals. I think those that are already in your country are probably bad enough, but you'll learn that lesson soon enough. I don't care. It's your country. Ruin it all you want. Just don't try to enter and ruin mine after you're done.